I first started playing video games way back on Xbox 360. And there's one thing that I learned all the way back then that I still use to this day for my warm-ups. And in this episode of Shotty's Yap Session, I'm going to teach you guys what it is, how it works, and why it works. And don't worry, it doesn't matter what platform you're playing on, this warm-up will work no matter what. And if you guys are new here, this is the series where I yap about a topic and you turn me on in the background while you do something else. Or, if you really want to, you can watch some mid-gameplay. Let's get right into it. Now, before I can explain to you what the warm-up routine is, what's the point of a warm-up routine? Most people just use it as, let me wake up, let me get to playing, and let me get good at the game. But when I was younger, it felt like a waste of time to me. I get home from school, I take off my backpack, I have to eat, I have to wash my hands, sometimes I gotta do homework. Then I got like 4 hours before my dad makes me go to bed. So I'm like, I can't spend 20 minutes on a warm-up. I don't even want to spend 10. So how do I get the most out of my warm-up as fast as possible? Because I hated wasting time, especially since I was on a clock. My dad used to make me go to bed at 8 o'clock? No, I think I had to shower at 8, then I had to go to bed by 9. So it was terrible because I got home at 3 and didn't get to play till 4 or 5, if that. So I had to figure out what's the best way to warm up so that I could still be as good as possible without wasting time. And before you think, oh, well, I was just a kid, I was playing casually. Funny enough, the way I started content creation was there's a game called Destiny 1. And in Destiny 1, you can do carries. And basically what you do is there's a tournament called Trials of Osiris. And in Trials, you would carry someone to win 7 games in a row without losing any. You were technically allowed to lose 1, but for the sake of explanation, 7 games, no losses. You have to do it with 3 versus 3. And I would help people, even as a kid, go flawless. Help people get those 7 wins without losing. So, because I was a little try-hard loser. It's all I really cared about doing. I just wanted to be the best. Part of the reason why was because I wanted to do a YouTube. So I had to figure out the most competitive way to warm up as well. It wasn't just warming up. I had to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Warm up and improve. So I spent some time researching and looking into what other better players do. And I found that all the best players, especially on console, or specifically on console, if the sensitivity scale was out of 10, they were always closer to 10, like 7, 8, 9. But I was always around 5 because I was bad and I couldn't control anything faster than 5. 5 was already too hard to control. And the same is kind of true for PC. On PC, if you can control a faster sensitivity, especially like really fast, let's say, as an example, very fast is default sensitivity in Marvel. If you use default, which is a 4, and like if you have 800 DPI on your mouse, you don't like yourself. That's really, really fast. Minimum, go down to a 3, and that's still too fast. You should go down to like a 2 if we're being realistic. But whole nother video. I mean, kind of ties in, but yeah, I would go down to a 2 minimum. If you're at 800 DPI, go to a 2. If you're at 400, go to a 4. If you're at 1600, go to a 1. And that's a good baseline to start at. And then figure out if you should go faster or slower after practicing with that. But I found, and I've seen from my experience with aim coaching, if you can control a faster sensitivity, you have better mouse control. Because fast is really, really precise, because such a tiny movement can be the difference between a 180 versus a 360. So when I learned this, I started making my sensitivity faster every single day or every few weeks. Practicing with that fast sensitivity, learning how to control it, mastering that sensitivity. And oh my gosh, dude, that was an insane improvement in my aim. So I thought, wait a minute, why don't I try something a little different? And when I tried this different thing, which was doubling my sensitivity in my warm-up, then going back to my normal one. Now, a lot of people hear this and be like, are you insane? First of all, take a second. Sensitivity is not muscle memory. And if this wasn't a yap session, I could show you guys exactly what I mean. But instead, I'll tell you, because you're not supposed to be watching, supposed to be listening. But when I teach people aim, there's an app called Kovacs, which you train your aim on. There's something in Kovacs that allows you to randomize your sensitivity that basically makes it change every millisecond if you want it to. So what I did to prove to my students aim is not muscle memory, it's hand-eye coordination, I turned on the sensitivity randomizer and maxed it out. So it was changing super, super fast the whole time. And I proved to them that my aim was almost exactly the same. Now, of course, I scored a little worse, but it wasn't so different that, oh my God, no, aim is muscle memory. Now you'll never be able to aim good again. And if you don't believe me, hit the subscribe button. And in the near future, I'll be doing a sensitivity and an aim training video. So I'll be able to show you guys what I mean and go more into depth with it. But I would double my sensitivity and then warm up like that for a few main reasons. The first reason was that it was practice as well as a warm-up, because that fast sensitivity was hard for me to control. But after like 3 days of warming up with it, or a week or whatever, I was able to control it, or at least much better than I was before. Then the other thing that it achieved was that it helped me wake up. And what do I mean by that? If you are on a different sensitivity, let's say, have you guys ever experienced, oh, I'm undershooting, let me raise my sensitivity. Oh, I'm overshooting, let me lower my sensitivity. And then for like maybe a week or maybe a few days, that problem gets fixed. Then a week later, all of a sudden, you're overshooting again or undershooting again. This is an example of aim being hand-eye coordination. It's more of a skill than remembering something or remembering a movement. The reason why after you change it, you fix that problem is because you're actively aiming much more than you were before, because your old sensitivity you were used to. You just kind of autopilot on the old sensitivity. And the goal of a warm-up is to get you out of that. So after changing my sensitivity so drastically, it would force me to wake up, it would force me to lock in, and I was forced to pay attention. So already with this warm-up, you get 2 goals done. You get practice and you get to wake up better and stop autopiloting. Then the last good part about it was that I would warm up in things like this game's version of a Doom match. In Destiny 1, they used to be called Rumbles, which is basically you versus everybody. The reason why I do this instead of, let's say, the practice range is because most people struggle with the randomness of real targets. If you go in the practice range, you set them up in a certain range, they can only move so far back, so far forward, making it, yes, progressible, but not that hard and not that random like real games are. And you can't get the real world practice with your abilities. So to sum up, a Doom match where you double your sensitivity and practice with that, consciously focusing on what your weak points are in your gameplay. Then after you finish your warm-up, you can go back to your normal sensitivity and you'll be dialed, you'll be locked in, because that rapid change and that giant difference will make the super fast sensitivity feel slow, feel controllable, and you can actually manipulate sensitivities to improve your aim. And some examples of doing this are with a fast sensitivity, you'll be training how to use your wrist and your fingertips to aim better, also increasing how smooth your aim is, and this works for console as well, while slow sensitivity forces you to use your arm more when you aim and increases the speed at which you can aim. Now, unfortunately, the slow sensitivity one doesn't actually work for console. It's only a PC thing, because on console you're limited by how much you can actually move your stick in the range of motion given. That's why I always teach everyone that's on console, if they want the best aim possible, they should max out their sensitivity as fast as possible that they can control, and buy stick extenders if possible. For example, the Elite controller or Control Freaks, and extend the length of their stick, because you have more control over exactly where you put your stick, so you have more control over exactly where you want to aim. And with this sensitivity manipulation, you can use it to improve your aim and help with shakiness in your aim or overall control. Now, since you're here, you must like learning stuff for free. So if you want to learn more stuff for free, click the top link in the description to join Gosu Academy so you can get coached, meet people, or just look through all the past coaching and learn from that. And then when you're done, you can check out this 44-minute video on everything I learned from coaching from bronze all the way up to eternity level players. I love you guys. Have a good one. God bless you.